I'm just a fucked up girl who's looking for my own peace of mind.
The Devil All the Time is directed by Antonio Campos and based on the novel by Donald Ray Pollock, who actually acts as the narrator in this film, which I thought was a nice touch. So, on the surface, it's a Southern Gothic following a collection of dark, complicated characters, most of whom do some pretty despicable things, and it's about how their stories cross paths in unexpected ways. It's about family and the things that we inherit and pass down through generations, whether that be our religious faith, our moral guidelines, violence and abuse, and the lessons that our parents teach us as children. I would say it's worth seeing just for the impressive performances from the ensemble cast. I mean, we get a brilliant show from Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Bill Skarsgård, Haley Bennett, Riley Keough, Harry Melling, Sebastian Stan, Jason Clarke, the list goes on and on and on. Also, can I just say, Robert Pattinson needs to do voice acting now. The vocal range that this man has, like, I literally forgot it was him halfway through the film. I had to keep reminding myself, that's Robert Pattinson, that creepy guy, that creepy ass disturbing human being. Robert Pattinson. There are definitely some Oscar-worthy performances, and given how many films we've gotten so far in 2020, I wouldn't be surprised if this film received several nominations. Not only is the acting superb, but Lowell Crowley's cinematography is absolutely stunning. The production design is sharp. Even the screenplay, despite some things that I didn't really love, it's still brilliantly written. In a nutshell, this film is a spectacle of horrible, complex, misshapen people. I think the film is trying to say something about the delusion of religion and how people believe in something because it's what they think that God wants, or it's what they think their religion wants them to do. And it corrupts their mind and their morals, and it's definitely a very powerful piece of storytelling. But it's also very dark, and it's unsettling to watch vile human beings doing horrific things for nearly 3 hours. I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna spoil anything, don't worry, but I really didn't love the ending. I'm not really sure I could think of a better way to end it, which is also sort of a problem, I guess. It's just one of those films that pulls you along, it lures you in with its curious and unpredictable plot, and its weird, twisty, complex characters, but then it doesn't really know where to leave you at the end. The saving grace is definitely Tom Holland's character, Arvin, who, despite being among a very large ensemble cast, is more or less the main protagonist. You feel for him, you understand his struggles, he's gone through a lot, and you know he's pretty much the only decent person in the entire story, and even that is a bit of a stretch to say. His actions are definitely questionable at times, but I think it's supposed to make you ask yourself if they are justified, which is sort of a theme in this film. Like, what does it mean to be good or bad, right or wrong, where is the line? But it's mostly just people being horrible, horrible humans. For Tom Holland's character, he's just a young man trying to do the right thing, but the moral guidelines of what's right and wrong are definitely blurred, not only for him, but for everyone around him, especially. He's trying to live the way that his father taught him, but his father was also seriously disturbed and maybe not the best role model, but it's kind of all he has. So he's not only dealing with right and wrong, but he's also dealing with like all of these things that he's inherited from his father. There's just a lot of internal conflict going on. It's a wildly unpredictable and gripping, very gripping. It's a bit slow to start, and it's definitely a slow burn throughout like the entire runtime, but I was never quite sure where we would go or how it would end, which I personally enjoy in a film. I think despite some flaws in the plot, this is a beautiful piece of cinema, brilliantly strung together. I especially enjoyed the use of creative transitions, the visual storytelling through editing and sound. Like, they would explain a really complex situation in a single shot with no dialogue, and you would know exactly what's happening, which is definitely an art and a skill. I remember there's one scene in particular where I had this realization. I'm not going to give anything away, not going to tell you what scene it is, but they reveal that a character is at a funeral, And they do that by dressing the character in black in what appears to be an outside, sprawling field kind of setting. The sound of a shovel digging in dirt is what you hear, but you don't see it, and you just assume it's a grave. But you never actually see any of that. You just know. You just put the pieces together. And I thought that was brilliant. So I have to give it points for that. I have to. There are a lot of little moments like that where I was just like, that was pretty smart. So the storytelling style was fun. Characters weave in and out of each other's stories, and it was exciting to see different characters that you've been following finally cross paths unexpectedly, and you just kind of see how everyone is connected. And I love movies like that, where there's sort of lots of different stories happening, but then it's like, oh, plot twist, they all know each other. And it's, I don't know, I always love stories like that. So overall, this film was a well-written story that kept me continuously engaged and on the edge of my seat. But it's difficult, for me at least, to enjoy a film completely when every single character is unlikable. I know that's kind of the point, and I know Campos is generally drawn to like dark, complex characters, and I like stories about dark, complex characters, but like, I just felt like I needed a little bit more. I needed some kind of purpose. The film instills a lot of curiosity about what the point of the film might be, but other than making an unsettling spectacle of corruptible faith, it's a bit bleak. I just feel like, sure, you can believe that religion makes people delusional, but why this is a story that needs to be told, I'm not really sure. I'm not personally religious, but I respect people who have faith. I think it's a crucial part of so many people's lives, and this film, at least for me, at least for my interpretation of it, it sort of seems to disrespect that a bit. I'm not saying that it isn't absolutely true in some cases, and a lot of people have used their religion in harmful ways, for sure, 100%. I get that that is a thing, but putting a spotlight on that in this weird story doesn't really seem to be very helpful for anyone. And there are two sides of this coin. Like, maybe the point of the film isn't that at all, and it's to show that even though people can be so easily corrupted, even though it might feel like it's the devil all the time, good people still try to be good people, despite all the horrible things that happen to them. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. I do like that. That could be the point. I would maybe like it a little bit more if that was the point. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it's the point, though. I think it's just like a study on horrible people, and I don't think that's just quite enough for me. I'm giving The Devil All the Time a 3 out of 5. So, did you see The Devil All the Time? Let me know in the comments below what you think about this movie. I would love to talk about it. It's definitely got a lot of good and bad. Like, it has some really, really good stuff. But I'm not sure I'd ever really like reach for it again. I'm not sure I would really put it up there with anything super memorable. So, there you go. Take that how you will. But that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.